It's not terribly high Tuesday, Wednesday, but you will get wet at times, and then it gets a whole lot better as we head into the end of the week. So you've seen those numbers before. You've heard us talk about the probability of precipitation, but what exactly does it mean? First Alert meteorologist Glenn Johnson goes in depth.
Well, we finally get back into some wet weather. It has been rather dry, so we could actually use some of that rainfall. An unusual month so far. This is look at the month of September. And that first week, we had a lot of rain on the 6th and the 7th, over 2 inches of rain. And then we went through an extended period of dry weather, right? We had 11 days in a row with not a drop of rain. So, you know, how do you convey the chance of getting precipitation? And we have a really good tool that you'll see on our News 10 NBC 10-day forecast. Now, it's called the probability of precipitation. So what does that exactly mean? If we're showing a 30% chance of rain, and let's pretend that this grid here is western New York. So out of 54 squares, we only got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 6 squares that have the chance of getting some precipitation. Now watch what happens as the chance of rain goes up. And you can see how those squares begin to fill in. Western New York begins to fill in. And today, even though it has not been necessarily heavy rain, we were upwards of 70 to 80% chance of getting some precipitation. So that's one way of doing it. Another way is if we break it down to our viewing areas. So we could say a 30% chance of precipitation for a given time period for Rochester, and you know, maybe it's upwards of 50% once you get down through the Finger Lakes. Now, it becomes important this time of the year, the fall season, the leaves are coming down as we get some of this rain. It is really a good idea for obvious reasons to clear out those drains, right? So we clear out the drains, get the leaves out of the way so there's less standing water, there's less leaves on the roadway. When it gets wet, it can get a little bit slick, and then we get better drainage. And after all, the last thing we want to see is any kind of flooding across the area.